Hello again, Dr. Bill Dawson here, and welcome to my informal surroundings this time. I thought I'd go outside. It's 4 days before Thanksgiving 2015, and we've had such a magnificent day. It's about almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's going down on the other side of the house, and I just wanted to be outside and talk to you a little bit more about, kind of picking up where we left off last week. At the end of my last talk, I talked about the fact that stress is a very important factor when concerning health, And now, understand, I don't have cards to read from or anything else. I don't have notes. I just talk off the top of my head, and what comes in here comes out here. But I've been thinking, and this will really mean something to a lot of you chiropractors out there. We get patients come in and they say, well, I didn't come to you because I wanted to go to my RD, my regular doctor, or my real doctor. And I think to myself, I grit my teeth and I think, a real doctor, huh? Your medical doctor's a real doctor. What makes him a real doctor? Well, if you ask the medical doctor or the osteopath and some of the other primary healthcare providers, they'll tell you that they have so much more education than the chiropractor does. And so that makes them a real doctor, and the chiropractor is just kind of on the fringes. The chiropractor only has to go to school for 6 months, they say, and he doesn't do much studying and so on. So I want to dispel one of the number one myths that exist out there concerning chiropractic education and the qualifications to become a chiropractor, especially a licensed chiropractor who has passed all of the board exams, which are incredibly horrendous. I went to school back in the mid-70s, and 1976 was my last year of college. And at that time, I looked at my college curriculum at the school I went to. I went to school in Los Angeles. There were 3 chiropractic colleges down there at the time, and I went to the college that they called the straight college. In other words, a straight chiropractor versus a mixer is the chiropractor who doesn't use all kinds of physical therapy and adjunctive therapies in his practice. He believes in the straight philosophy of chiropractic, which is natural. And a lot of what some chiropractors do is not natural because they're using man-made machines and so on. And I'll get into that. But anyway, I finished school in 1976, and I had completed 4,460 classroom hours. 4,460. I called up UCLA Medical School. An extremely, UCLA, man, this is prestigious. I called them up and I said, okay, I want to know how many classroom hours your students have to have in order to graduate from UCLA Medical School. And they said 4,000. In other words, the chiropractor was getting more than 10%, probably 11 or 12% more education than the medical doctor. And when I use medical doctor, I'm also going to include osteopaths, naturopaths, homeopaths, because we're all primary healthcare providers. Nowadays, here it is 2015, they've added a couple of hundred hours to both the chiropractic and the medical education, because obviously there's been a lot more scientific research and so on. And so we still, as a chiropractor, we still have to have about 10% more education to get out of school and graduate than your medical doctor. So the RD, the real doctor, he doesn't have as much schooling as your DC, or your doctor of chiropractic. In the state of California, and I don't know if this is in every state of the union or not because I haven't done that research, but in the state of California, we're considered primary healthcare providers. And as a primary health care provider, that means that you can come to me as a chiropractor without a referral or a prescription. If you want to go to, let's say, a physical therapist, you have to have a written prescription to go see a physical therapist. But to come and see a chiropractor, you don't need a prescription. There are primary health care providers out there. Your dentist is a primary health care provider, even though he only works here, the teeth and the jaw, the gums, and so on. A podiatrist, a DPM, he's a primary health care provider, even though he's confined right here from the ankle all the way down. But he's a primary health care provider, and in order to go see a podiatrist, you don't need a prescription. You don't need a prescription to go see a naturopath, a homeopath, an osteopath, an MD, or a chiropractor, because we are physicians. At least in the state of California, we are physicians. And the only thing a chiropractor must not do is administer drugs, because that's the province of some of the other professions, or do surgery. I don't puncture skin, and I don't give harmful chemicals. And by the way, every single drug, every single prescription, every medication that you can take does 20, 30, 40 times more harm to your body than it's doing good. Prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs, they'll do one thing that you like, and in the background, they're doing all of these things to harm you. They're killing your liver, they're killing your kidneys, they're tearing down your nerves, they're eating up your stomach and so on, while they're doing that one thing that you like. So, do you really want to take drugs? Because chiropractic can get you off of those drugs, eliminate the need for surgery, and do it naturally. Now, what I mean by natural, understand that there are two types of treatment. There is the man-made and the natural, or if I might use the term, God-made. So do you really want the man-made, or do you want the God-made for the treatment of most of your ills? And we need to be talking about this too. I'm not saying that everything that medical doctors and osteopaths do is wrong. Man, if I was out on the street out there, and I got run over by a car, and I was busted up and cut up, I want to go see a medical doctor, because that's what he specializes in, patching people up. If I had a bad heart attack or a stroke, I want to go see a medical doctor to maintain my life. But for the treatment of disease and malfunctions, your medical doctor, all he can do is poison you. And that's what drugs do. They poison you to get one thing that you like to happen, while 30 or 40 things that you really don't want to know about, those are the things that are really happening. You see, they talk about side effects of drugs. Gang, there is one side effect to any medication, whether it's prescribed or over the counter. One side effect. That's what it's doing that you like. The effects of the drug, the true effects, are the way that drug is poisoning you to effect that one thing that you like. Is it worth it? Look on TV. Listen to all of the side effects. Do you realize that even the AMA itself says that they are within the top 5 causes of death in this country? By properly prescribed drugs, taken at the proper time, the way the medical doctor told you to take them, they're one of the top 5 killers in this country. Why not try chiropractic? I'm a NUCA chiropractor, and you're welcome to come and see me. Get away from the drugs. Let's do things God's way or nature's way rather than man's way, because unfortunately human beings really foul things up. So I think that's enough for now. We'll be going on because I have so much to talk about. I've been in practice for almost 40 years, and I'm a perpetual student. I read and study every single day. So long for now. It's been good having you. Stay on this page. Tell your friends. We've got a lot to offer. Bye-bye.